Kirk Duckwall here with the Twin Cities Real Estate Show, here to talk to you today about the Minnesota Property Disclosure Statement and some of the common questions that come up. This is the form that buyers are going to look at and decide if they're going to put their trust into a seller and continue to move forward with a purchase agreement. So as a seller, you really want to fill this out to the best of your knowledge as completely as you can, and if you've had any issues with the property, to really bring that up. Because that's going to help minimize opportunities if issues arise later on down the line for a buyer to come back with a grievance. As I mentioned, you want to fill it out to the best of your knowledge. It is okay if you do not know the answer. A lot of these questions are yes or no. If you do not know the answer, however, you can leave that blank. Another question that comes up regards encroachments. Encroachments would be something like if a neighbor built a garage that is partially on your property or a fence. Also easements, that would be if you granted someone else access to your land to maybe cross it, or for utilities if there's a power line or drainage easement as well. Another very common question is regarding work performed to a property. So if you've had any contractors out to fix anything and permits were pulled, or if permits were not pulled, you want to make sure you mark that down. It is commonplace for somebody to maybe put an outlet in or do a little plumbing repair without pulling a permit. And if you mention it here, you should be in the clear hopefully later on down the line. At least you know you mentioned it to them, so hopefully it won't come back and bite you. Wet basements, that's also very common in the state of Minnesota. So here, if you've had a damp wall in the basement, even if if it was a one-time flooding rain, you mark down what happened, where it happened, when it happened, and any corrections that you may have done to solve it, and if the issue has occurred since then. Another question that I get a lot is regarding property tax treatment. Valuation exclusion. Quite often that'll be for something like a church, nonprofit. Also preferential tax treatment. Usually you'll know if you have this if you're a disabled veteran. You'll have that. Most of the time though, that's not going to be something that applies, so you'll want to check no on that box. Hopefully you found this information helpful. One of the new things that they've added is regarding radon disclosures. You'll see here towards the end. It's quite common as well for radon tests not to be done on a home maybe when you bought it, but recently they added it as at least a disclosure to the buyers that they can have a radon test done. If you've had that done, you have the opportunity to disclose those results as well. If not, you may have a buyer that wants to perform a radon test, and typically they'll cover that within their own inspection costs. If you have any additional questions, you can always ask your agent. Hopefully you found this information helpful. Take care and have a great day.